Welcome everyone to the House of Dre's podcast. I am Dre himself. Welcome to the podcast. Now I told y'all before that the podcast was coming to YouTube, so I'm starting a little bit early. But what I will do is for my YouTube on my YouTube members. So I have the audio version on different platforms, especially on Spotify. And what I'm gonna do for YouTube until I get caught up, which is gonna be a very long time, I'm gonna record stuff from the past and update them and put it here on YouTube. Starting off, this will be episode 0 of the podcast, and then we'll just go through all the different topics I have talked about and stuff in the past. So, of course, if you're new, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you just want to hear fresh new podcast content, welcome to the channel. Today, as you can tell, we're taking a look at a ranking of black sitcoms. Oh man, I haven't done this since the very first time, but I was back in 2020. This is exactly where this was updated at too, was 2020. So it's perfect. It's definitely perfect to do it for the first podcast here on YouTube. Well, yeah, let's say it's the first podcast. I think the other ones I'm gonna go ahead and delete. First podcast up here on YouTube. So let's get started. This was, like I said, this was updated. This was updated in 2020 by those people up top. So shout out to them. But let's get it. Let's get it. My personal rankings also, personal opinion. So we're gonna start from the low tier. We're gonna go up to the God tier. Let's get it. First off, the low tier, starting off with Family Matters. Family Matters was a pretty solid show. Wasn't too bad. I can see why this is low tier. Mainly it's low tier because in the very beginning of the show, it just wasn't it. It wasn't it. It was cool. It was decent. It was decent. Like a couple seasons, it was decent by itself. But then of course, it picked up majorly whenever Steve Urkel was introduced to the show. I don't know what year, I don't know what season that would be when he was introduced to the show. But whenever he got introduced, that's when it really picked up, and that's when it really became a really popular show. So I can see why they put it on low tier. I think I think I probably will keep it low tier because I think without Steve Urkel, the show doesn't take off and the show probably get canceled quicker than anything. What's happening? Now, what's happening? I'm gonna have to get on my phone for some of these, and I ain't gonna lie. Even as a black male, black dude, I ain't watched a lot of these shows. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see what's happening. Let's take a look at that. Okay, yeah, I didn't watch this. This came out in 1976. Uh, let's say it says Raj, Dwayne, and Rerun are three working class young male dealing with school life, love, and the regular antics of teenagers growing up. They routinely launch get rich quick schemes, which regularly go a wire. They also have to deal with the affairs of Raj's bratty little sister D. Yeah, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. Never, no, I didn't watch that. So I can see why it's low tier. Next up, it is the Wayne brothers. They got this at low tier. That's interesting. The Wayne brothers was pretty cool. Of course, Sean and Marlon Wayne's had their own little sitcom, getting together, doing some stuff right here. I'm not putting this low tier. I think I put a mid tier. I put a mid tier. I want to pay the low tier. I put a mid tier. Like I said, I think that was a pretty solid show. I think it was funny. I think it did what it's supposed to do at that time period during that time. But I don't think it's low tier. I think I'll call it like low mid tier more than low tier, in my personal opinion. The Parkers, another one of those classic shows from back in the day. Another, I think that was a low mid tier also. I don't think it's low tier at all. I think that was fun to watch. In my personal opinion, I'll put it low mid tier. I wouldn't put it in low tier though. That's crazy. Smart Guy, yeah, that's low tier. Not gonna lie, that's low tier. Even when if I take a look back and watch it now, it wasn't it. It's not it. It's not it at all. My personal opinion is not it. And then we finally got Sister, clearing up the low tier. That's crazy. Why is twin sisters being up in here like this that they're doing this for? I was watching a couple episodes on Netflix whenever it arrived on Netflix. I think it still holds up to this day. I think it still pretty holds up. Two sisters now they just being comedy, quite honestly. I say low mid tier. My personal opinion, low mid tier. Let's go up to the mid tier area. We got the Jamie Foxx show. Yeah, yeah, I agree to that. That's a Raven. I'm gonna go top tier on that. I'm gonna go top tier on That's a Raven, mainly because you have to think about it. You have to think like this in that time period for, especially for Raven Simone. This before Raven Simone did what she do when she doing right. Raven Simone was pretty much the only black actresses, and this is a black show that was that appear on Disney, right? That was the only show that appeared on Disney that was live action, that wasn't cartoonish, and they did that to concede into the future and stuff like that. And you learn lessons and teenager stuff. I think a lot of early 2000 kids, us 90s kids going to 2000s, that's already when played a big part in their childhood, in my personal opinion. So I'm gonna call that low tier, top tier, but it's on the low part of the top tier. So like at the bottom of the top tier, in my personal opinion. Now, In the House is another show never watched. Came out in 1995. Apparently 5 seasons. Let's talk about it. It says after an injury ends his professional football career, Marlon Hill agrees to take a job as a nanny to help his tenant, divorcee Jackie Warren, with her 2 children, Tiffany and Austin. LL Cool J is your main star up in this, Mamma Jamma. Yeah, you can take. I'm calling that low tier. I'm not a fan. Do not care for it. My personal opinion, nah, I'm good. That's a low tier for me. One on one. Watched just recently rewatched that too back on Hulu. No, it was on Netflix, and yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. I think it was solid. I think it was solid for the time period it came out and in my personal opinion, not too bad. We got to see something different. I think that's the thing. The thing is, we saw something different to where we saw a single black dad who used to be famous playing sports. Now he's a bachelor, and now he has to raise his child. Something that a lot of shows, I think nowadays, don't even touch on. A lot of sitcoms don't even touch on nowadays. So I think that stand out on its own. I think that's a little top tier in my personal opinion, just for that and that for that reason only, right? Next, we have a show called All of Us. So I had to take a look back at that too. 2003. I think a lot of these shows, a lot of these black sitcoms, a lot of them popped up on UPN 41. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was a classic. Let's take on this is based on the domestic situation of Will and Jada Smith. This comedy examines the humor that arises in trying to create a new life in a day and age where the old one never completely fall away. Robert James raises his young son while sharing custody of the boy with his ex-wife. That was really random. I did not. They was talking about this is based off of Will Smith and them. How? How is that? Was that for real? I did not know that. Let's see. Like I said, UPN 41. That's the stuff. Oh, it's created by Jada and Will too. Oh, okay. So this is created by Jada and Will. This is back in when they was. Well, we thought they was still good. You know what I'm saying? This is 0303. Yeah. They say it's loosely based on the blended family of creator and executive producer Jada and Will Smith. Yeah. Huh. A voice television entertainment reporter with a young son and his fiance, a kindergarten teacher who helped him through the breakup of his first marriage. They share custody of his son with ex-wife, whom she shares a friendly friendship for the sake of this. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, I didn't watch this. I think if I watched it, I'll probably watch a couple episodes, but I ain't gonna. I can't lie to you. I act like I've watched it completely thing. Like I can remember all of that. So they say it's mid tier. I'm gonna have to go with them. I'm gonna have to agree with them on that mid tier stuff because I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not 100% on that at all. Next up, we got the Proud Family. Yeah, I think that's a little bit top tier in my personal opinion. I didn't know the Proud Family. I didn't know cartoons. We count cartoons as a sitcom. I didn't know that. I didn't. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to look at some other stuff out after this video, of course. I mean, after we get done the list. I didn't know they was counting that as a sitcom. If that's a sitcom, I think that's top tier more than anything. Considering once again, Disney really didn't have a lot of black shows like that moving around. But I mean, what you want me to do about it? I'm sorry. What you want me to do about it? What you want me to do about it? Next up, we got Moesha. Moesha was about Brandy and her teenage life. Like I said, a lot of these shows, a lot of these were basically, a lot of these shows were basically um, teenage years for us 90s babies to early 2000 teenagers. I think a lot of this is that right before we went to high school and stuff. A lot of these shows are like that. So mid tier, I'm gonna have to agree because I remember watching episodes, but not a lot of episodes. I would say not a lot of them. I can't actually remember exactly all the episodes. Let's be honest here. Let me be honest with you. We got the Steve Harvey Show, another classic show back in the good old days, back in the time period. Not gonna lie. Um, Pretty much, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's mid tier. Mid tier. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I agree. Mid tier. Mid tier. I think you could put the Steve Harvey Show mixed with the Parkers, Sisters around that time period. I think you could put those all together into one side, in my personal opinion. Next up is the PJs. That's the one. That's the little small one about right here. That's the PJs. Once again, another cartoon show that I didn't know we was counting cartoon shows as sitcoms. So. Mm, eh, it was cool, but I don't really remember much about it. I remember the animation for it, but I don't remember much from the show. Low tier for me. Next up, we got the Carmichael Show. Well, the show never watched it. Apparently, it's 2015, so that's definitely out of my. I'm way out. I'm way out by him. So we got uh Jared and his therapist in training girlfriend Maxine are intelligent, ambitious, and ready to take the next step to building a fulfillful life by moving in together. The one thing holding him back is Jared's lovable but spirit family. At home, he has a brother, Bobby, who has a big personality, which he uses in his endless string of hustles. His untamed father, Joe, and his Jesus praising mother, Cynthia. Together, the three of them test Jared and Maxine as they learn about romance, family, and trying to stay sane. Who the okay? That's what Lil Rel probably got his start up. Alyssa look like uh girlfriend is bright skin, light skin. I call bright skins. Uh, David Garves, I thought that was him. Tiffany Haddish showed up in here. Loretta Devine. I'm not surprised she's up in here. I mean, I must say, it sounds little. It sounds low tier to me. It sounds low tier to me. It sounds really. I know some of y'all thinking 100. Come on now. It sounds freaking low tier. Out. To me, that sounds really, really low tier. I understand with the concept of stuff like that, but I feel like by the end, a lot of shows already produced and done that. So I don't understand why. I don't. Nah, nah. I'm good. I'm good. Next up, we got Half and Half. Half and Half. Solid show. Once again, one of them shows I'll probably put in the same realm as. I'll probably put that in the same realm as Girlfriends and Good Times or the Jamie Foxx show and stuff. So I mean, decent. Like I said, it's decent. It's decent. It's definitely decent. This next one is called The Parenthood. It's 1995 show. Oh, I remember this. This is the black dad. Oh man, yeah, the dad on here, Robert Townsend. I'm pretty sure he played. They did Up and Away. I think that was him. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Former New York college professor Robert Peterson and his wife Jerry shared their Manhattan brownstone apartment with their four children, ages 3 to 15. They got about what's that? One, two. They got about They got four kids. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I just said four kids. I don't remember this show. I do not remember this show at all. 1995. Yeah, I don't remember this show. The show got 5 seasons. I don't remember this show at all. I don't think I've even watched this one. Let me see. Originally started to be Father Knows Best. A parody. The show was one of the four that airs the original Wednesday night that helped launch the WB network, along with the Wayne brothers, having a short-lived muscle. Never heard of this show. Not gonna lie to y'all. Never heard of this show. Apparently you can watch it on HBO Max. That's what's up. That's what's up. Or Max nowadays. That is definitely what's up. Let's see who must. Okay, so the series revolves around a former Black English. Oh, he's a former Black English. I don't know if I said that. Let's read. I'm redoing this again. I'm sorry. A former Black English professor, Robert Peterson, who coped with fatherhood after his wife Jared decided to return to the working field to their four children, which they shared the upper mid class apartment, brownstone in Manhattan. Robert quickly learns that he needs to rule his house on an iron fist as he realized the world his kids are growing up in was different from how he grew up. Oh, see, that ain't getting me out of it. I might have to start going all the way through. Oh, okay. I get 5 seasons. I don't remember it. Sounds interesting, but I'm gonna keep it as a mid tier. Just to be fair, because like I said, I'm not 1,000% sure on that one. I have never heard of that. I want to say, in my personal opinion, I've never heard of it, so I can't say it's lower. Never heard of it, so sounds interesting. All Out Night. All Out Night came out in 1992. It got a season. Somehow they said this is mid tier. Let's talk about it. The series stars Patti LaBelle for a season. They got Patti LaBelle on TV like this? What? Dang, her money must have been crazy. How much she would have charged for that? I can only imagine. Oh my god. Uh oh wow, this had a lineup, people. This had Patty LaBelle, Morris Chestnut, Vivica A. Falls, Dwayne Martin, and Samuel O'Brien. Oh wow, that's it. They only had like 20 episodes, but they didn't explain exactly what the series is supposed to be about. Uh, Let me see. A former singer opens in urban nightclub in Los Angeles. Oh wow, these they are young. I mean, they're young, of course. Not much. I don't know. Single who opens a young graduate and his irresponsible best friend and roommate who helped her daughter, and their Scottish neighbor set in the same universe as the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Apparently, interesting. That doesn't sound too bad. Doesn't sound bad at all. I'm not gonna lie. That does not sound bad at all. I just like the name alone. I'm like, wow, y'all got Patty LaBelle on TV to do this. Goated. I mean, that's kind of goated. I ain't gonna lie, that's a little goated. But I can see why they said this is a mid tier. I was assuming just the premise of the show gives them the mid tier vibe for it. Just the names alone could probably give you mid tier, but never watched it, never heard of it, never watched it. Next up, the game. Sorry. The game had the world in a chokehold when it came out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It had the world in a chokehold. Yeah, they did their thing. They did their thing. They said mid tier. I could say upper mid tier. I'll go upper mid tier. They had the game. The game had the world on chokehold. Me didn't really care too much about it. Decent, but definitely not my forte. Definitely not my forte. Didn't really care too much about it at all. Next up, and the last thing we have on this list on the mid tier happens to be Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That's a nah for me. Low tier. That's a nah. No. I'm good. I'm sorry, but I'm good. I'm good on that. Let's move it up to the top tiers. Top tiers. I think I only need to search like two of these. I don't know those two at all. We starting off with Good Times. Good Times. I swear, I thought that'd be God tier. If I'm being quite honestly, I thought that's God tier. Good Times. I thought that's God tier. Great show. Great show. Great show. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. Everybody hates Chris. Been watched that. Watched it. Been watched it like twice before. Good show. Good show. Good show. By the way, it did get canceled. I probably wonder what happened at the very end. Like, oh, the show got canceled. Well, Chris Rock said he's fine with that. Chris Rock had came out in an interview and said he's fine with it because that's exactly when he stopped going to school, and eventually he'll start getting into comedy. And we already know how his comedy career turned out to be. So that's what's up. Girlfriends, another good show. Four girls, best friends type deal. Did their own thing, uplifted each other's, all that stuff. Good stuff. Goodish. Not gonna lie. My Wife and Kids, to me, that's the God tier of all God tiers. Boy, that's my number one show. That's my favorite show of all time. So if you ever want to buy me something for Christmas for whatever reason, My Wife and Kids DVD sets, all of them, all five seasons. I mean, all five of them look good. Great show. Just been and watched that on Hulu twice. About to go for a third time here eventually. That's my stuff. Blackish, good stuff too. Good stuff. Definitely. Good stuff too. Definitely enjoy Blackish. I know that's a controversial show. Some people like it, some people enjoy it, some people don't like it, some people don't enjoy it. 50-50. You can go 50-50 on that. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. Now, the show Amen. Let's talk about that. I have never heard this one. This is set in Sherman Hemsley's real life hometown of Philadelphia. He is the star of the show. He stars as the deacon of a church and was part of a wave of successful. Oh, nope, that is not the premise of the show. The series revolves around Esther Fire, a widow of deacon of the First Community Church of Philadelphia, who also works as a lawyer. He is often dishonest and frankly gets into trouble with his many hair-branded schemes. Fry has a single daughter named Thelma. Rubian Gregory is the new young pastor of the church and also the object of Thelma's affection. The two gets married. No, we'll just stop there. Okay. I think the names alone would have me watching it. A lot of good old time folks. This is about 19. This show came out in what? 1986, 1986. So yeah, definitely at the absolute peak of his prime during that time period. I'm not gonna lie, the show never watched, but you say it's top tier. I might have to believe y'all sometimes. Some stuff I'm gonna have to believe y'all with because I can't fight everything. I cannot fight everything. The next show is called 227. 1985 is when this came out. Follow the lives of a group of middle class people living in an apartment building. It's what they say that's what it's about, but of course we need to go into detail. Let's see. We got to find the plot, the not the origins, but the center. The 227 follow the lives of people in middle class apartment building 227 Langston. Langston. I lost my place. The numerical address from which the sitcom's name comes in Northeast Washington D.C. The show was centered around Mary Jenkins, a nosy and tar-tongued but loving housewife. Her husband Lester had his own construction company who had his own construction, and their daughter, Brenda. Oh, Regina's King in her first television acting role was boy crazy yet smart and studious. Oh man. The names, like I said, the names alone will get me to watch this. I ain't gonna lie. The names alone will get me to watch this majorly. You got big time names up in here. Jackie Harry, she's in it. Marlon, what's it? Marlon Gibbs. I don't want to mess up her name, but she was the main Miss Jenkins. Helen Martin, like I said, Regina King is in there. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Never heard of this show. That's interesting. Man, we need more positive black sitcoms like this. They're like, oh, this is middle class. That's middle class. Like, dang, dog. Bro, her husband had his own company, dog. That is, ooh, his own construction company. Can you imagine somebody having their own construction company right now? Come on now, man. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Last but not least on the top tier list is Kenny and Kel. Yeah. Yeah, Kenny and Kel, again, one of the highlights of our teenage years. Let's be honest here. I'm 30. Well, I'm pretty much 30. I'm 29. Pretty much be 30. So I know what I'm talking about. They pretty much had their hand on yeah, they had their hand. They had their hands definitely on the world, on the they had their hands on our teenage lives and stuff. So they play major factors into that, easily. Different World is a spinoff. No, I know it's a spinoff of the Cosby Show. Sixth season is the season originally centered around it on Denise Huxtable and the life of students at Hillman College, a fictional historically black college in Virginia. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I don't think I watched that. Never watched that. I don't think I watched that at all. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. I don't think I've watched. If I seen it, I probably seen an episode or two, but probably never remember watching any of those. Probably never remember watching them. I ain't gonna lie. Not gonna lie at all. Not gonna lie. So let's get through the rest of this God tier list. Martin, easily God tier, no arguments. The Fresh Prince, the Bel Air, easily God tier, no argument. Sanford and Son, easily God tier, no arguments. The Jeffersons, easily God tier, no arguments. The Bernie Mac show. I don't know if people put God tier on that because of the show or because it's based off of his real life that he was talking about. That's my question because we know we lost Bernie Mac early, so that's my question. My question is whether or not it's standing is it that because of his life and how he did everything, or is it God tier because it was actually that good? I've been to watch it. Don't worry, I've been watched it. I think it's good stuff. I think it's really good stuff. I definitely enjoyed it. So I'm gonna say God tier too. No arguments, no arguments. I'm just asking a question. Living single, God tier, no questions. And finally, the Cosby Show, God tier, no question, no question about that. That's easy work. I think all those belong where they need to belong at. Like I said, I rearranged some stuff here and there, but So let's let's talk about some other black sitcoms that wasn't on this list. Of course, if you do black sitcoms list or any sitcoms, I'm taking that back. Black sitcoms list. I ain't gonna lie, because I ain't gonna say any sitcom there. Black sitcoms list. If you have one, create one like this, send it to me. I'll do a podcast over it. I got you. I got you. Some other shows I didn't see on there. Shows I probably did not see on there that probably should have been on there. They said this is sitcom. This is what Google says, not me. Like I said, I didn't know we was doing animations for the Proud Family and the PJs. They got the Boondocks. If Boondocks counts as a sitcom, definitely top tier, arguably god tier. What we're gonna say with top tier. Top tier for the Boondocks is on there. I'm skipping a lot of shows that I'm not even gonna say should be on this list at all, or should be. They have the Haunted Hathaways. Don't know what that is. True Jackson VP. Shout out to Kiki Palmer, but I would say mid tier. Mid tier. I like Kiki Palmer, by the way. Y'all know me. Grownish. I think Grownish should have been on this list too, and I think Grownish could be arguably mid tier to top tier. It's in the middle between those two, in my personal opinion. I think the longer it goes, it could drop. The longer it goes, in my personal opinion. The Cleveland Show. If we're talking animation, the Cleveland Show could be on here. Probably not. Not mine. The Rail Show. He only got one season. I thought that was a little fun little show. I think you can argue that's low tier to mid to low tier, mid tier to low tier. Arguably, I enjoyed that. The House of Pain is still going on. I think to this day they're still going on, but I'll probably call that mid tier. They have some cool different episodes here and there, but I don't know. Different Strokes. I didn't see Different Strokes on here. I'm surprised Different Strokes wasn't on here. I think that's between mid tier and top tier, in my personal opinion. My personal opinion alone. Let's see. Albert Elementary. That's not a black show. That's not just a black sitcom. Yes, the main character is black and stuff like that, but it's a mixture of everybody. So I'm not gonna call it. I'm not gonna count that. And if it was predominantly a black sitcom like it should be, then yes, I will say Abbott Elementary deserves to be top tier easily. If it was just a straight black show, but it's not. In the House, is that in? No, I think In the House is in here, wasn't it? In the House. Nope. No, In the House. No, man. I thought I saw that on there. I don't know nothing about In the House. I don't know why I said that. All About the Washingtons is another they put on here. Like I said, I don't know. Family Reunion. I think that's yeah. Not bad show. That's a definitely sitcom. Family Reunion is definitely a sitcom mid tier. Mid tier. Nothing bad, nothing good. It's mid tier. I think it's fun. It's interesting. Mid tier though. Mid tier. Of course that's on there. For better or for worse, you can. I think fans of that can probably argue that's top tier. I think fans of that can argue that's top tier. I think it's between both top tier and mid tier. My personal opinion. That's just me. Let me see the rest of these shows. I'm gonna go. Nah, we good. I think we're good. I think that's it. I think we've nailed all the black sitcoms possible. Small history of black sitcoms. I said small history like we don't have a lot, but it's still a small history of black sitcoms. There's still plenty of black sitcoms that can easily, and I do mean easily that can be made in today's era. Whether or not we get that's a whole different conversation. Hopefully we do get some more black sitcoms out in the world, because I think they're goated. I think I found a sitcom that we did. Oh, yep. I found one that we did back in 2020 when we first did this podcast a long time ago. They had Corey in the House on there. I thought that was on here. Corey in the House. That was low tier for a reason. Webster. Don't know much about Webster, so that's definitely low tier, in my personal opinion. I ain't gonna lie. Malcolm and Eddie. They had that mid tier. That was definitely a good show. I think that should have been on here. Malcolm and Eddie. That is definitely what's up. Eve. Forgot about Eve. Mid. They had that mid tier also. I think after that we good. Yeah, after that we good. That was another list. I think that was the first list I think we ever did. I can't remember. Like I said, the link to my audio of the podcast will be in the comment section, where you can go start from the oldest podcast, which will say Andre and Thomas's podcast. That was the original name for the podcast before we actually get to here. It had two different names before we actually got to the House of Dre podcast. So You can go all the way back there, go to the oldest on Spotify, and click the very first episode. The very first episode, we went over black sitcoms before we got into some wrestling talk. But I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Hey, I'm on YouTube now. Well, I've been on YouTube for a little bit doing some anime uploads and stuff like that, anime reviews and stuff. That will continue. Expect this podcast to be once a week. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go back on my old podcasts list and update them till today. You guys know what's up. Like I said, it's coming here to YouTube. Took me a little bit, but now I'm here. I'm ready to push forward. I hope y'all ready too. Like I said, this channel also involves a lot of anime discussions, anime reviews, sometimes wrestling talk, sometimes not a lot. I'm also doing anime reviews. We do death battles on here. I got a lot of anime stuff on the podcast that I've done in the past that I'm gonna be re-updating here on the channel. So like I said, y'all sit back, relax, go through all this stuff, and welcome, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of the House of Dre's podcast.